this isn't fun for me anymore. So I just gave up calling in. And so, but I still listened to the show. It just was so great to me. And so I went off to college, and I had to pick a major. And so, what do I know? History, political science, right? That looked like the easiest path to get out of college. I had teammates of mine who took radio and television broadcasting, and I would go with them into the studio and watch them work and think to myself, that is the coolest thing in the world. Wow, you actually get to do that? Is the coolest thing in the world. I gotta go study for a history test. And it's just like that was, I remember it just being this Mona Lisa for me. It's just so unattainable. So I graduated from college and I get a suit and tie job and I'm listening to radio and I've long since given up on actually calling into a radio station. And lo and behold, I find myself in Omaha, Nebraska in 1994 or so. And my college roommate is dropping me off at my house. This is a true story. And the reason why I tell it is because everybody asks, how did the stutter ever end up in radio? So this is the story for you. My college roommate, who's still a very good friend, I'm the godfather to his oldest daughter, drops me off and he says, look, you moron. The radio station is directly across the street from you. All you've done ever since I've known you is listen to talk radio, go over there and get a job. I was like, that's not a bad idea. So, 3 months go by, and I was parking, my roommate at the time was parking illegally in the radio station's parking lot, and it was going to get towed. And I saw it almost getting towed, and I thought to myself, you know, I could pretend I didn't see it get towed. Or I could go out and save it. I was like, all right, I'll go out and save it. So I go out, and I talk the guy down. He's like, you owe me $50. I said, okay, there's a cash machine at the top of the street. Stay right here. As I'm walking up to the cash machine, I run into the general manager of the radio station. We strike up a conversation, and he says, hey, we're looking for somebody to work overnight. Why don't you come in and we'll talk? And I said, can you hold on a second? My roommate's car's getting towed. I got to go up to the cash machine. He's like, yeah. So I do that. I go home, I shower, I come back. He hires me for $6 an hour to work Saturday night midnight to Sunday morning 10 a.m. I talked to the guy for literally 6 minutes. And I either masked my stutter, or didn't say my name, or didn't say a whole lot, other than, hey, I'm kind of looking for a job, and I know you're the general manager of the radio station. So I literally, as a stutterer, talked my way into the job. Well, it was so ridiculously easy. All I had to do was change the tapes in the middle of the night. So at the end of the hour, I had to hit rewind, and then hit play, and there you go. That was my job. Well, this goes on for a couple months, and everything's going fine, and, you know, I clean the waste paper basket, and, you know, I'm just mesmerized by this whole thing called radio. Well, lo and behold, one day, the traffic guy doesn't show up. Now, I must tell you that every hour on the hour, I would change the other tapes, but for 10 seconds every hour, I would have to say the time, the temperature, and the station ID. So, and I had 10 seconds to say this. Well, so I'm there, and the very first time I got the button, I'm going to hit this, I'm watching the clock, and, you know, the whole thing's going by so fast, it's 10 seconds, I hit the button, and this isn't stuttering, I was just petrified. It's 4 o'clock. Ding! CBS News, right? I've done it. I've said 4 o'clock on the radio. This is what I want to do the rest of my life. At 4 o'clock in the morning. So, lo and behold, this goes by, and now I kind of got the time and the temp down solid. I know that it's 32 in Lincoln, 34 in Omaha, it's 4 a.m. on KFAB Omaha. I get that down within 10 seconds, so I sound like Edward R. Murrow. About 3 months into this deal, the traffic guy in the morning doesn't show up. Now, coming from Long Island, New York, I know traffic. living in Omaha, Nebraska, you sort of snicker when you hear you're the traffic reporter for Omaha. There's a cow crossing the road. Be careful. I can say that because I lived in Omaha. So if anyone's from Omaha, don't be offended. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do traffic, not a problem. Not realizing, this shows you how stupid I am. Not realizing that I still can't say my own name, and yet they're going to send me out to go do traffic. So I hop in the car. They don't have a copter, they have a car. You're supposed to drive around and try and find them. So I get in the car, and I start tooling around town. So Charlie, who's back in the station, says to me, all right, time saver traffic, KFAB news time, 6:12, let's go to traffic reporter McGraw, Millhaven. McGraw, how's it looking out there? Well, Charlie, I'm traveling on east. Back to you in the studio. A long pause on the other side of the microphone. All right. Let's go to weather. So 10 minutes later, time for KBB Time Saver Traffic. Let's check out McGraw. What's the